Hello, I'm Tom Marcello, President and co-founder of Green Heat Corporation. Today we're here to introduce you to our company and our innovative patent-pending products that we offer to the commercial restaurant industry. Commercial restaurant industry kitchen equipment has a lot of wasted heat that comes out, up into the hood, and out into the atmosphere. What our products do is captures that normally wasted heat and then repurposes it for other uses, such as to provide heat for the building, heat for their domestic water, air conditioning, and all the while generating electricity. I'd like to now introduce you to Mike Horvath, our CEO, co-founder, and inventor of our fantastic product line. Mike?
Thanks, Tom.
Mike, why don't you tell the audience just how this came to be?
Okay. Well, as you know, a few years ago, I bought a restaurant. And on the first day I bought that restaurant, I filled up the propane tank, which was 500 gallons. I thought that 500 gallons would last for about 3 months, but it only lasted about 3 weeks. So I realized that in order for the business to be profitable during the wintertime, I would have to figure out a way to do something about that usage.
So what did you come up with?
Well, I walked into the kitchen, I looked at the appliances, and I saw the waste heat, and I found a way to capture that waste heat and turn it into energy.
And that is how Green Heat was born. So now let's take a look at the product line itself and just how it works.
Okay. A typical kitchen is going to have a convection oven, a couple of griddles, and a deep fryer. So our system actually has to be aware of the exhaust flow of each one of these units because the exhaust port is here, the exhaust comes out the back, and goes into the vent hood, and then out into the atmosphere. So our system actually mounts on the back of the exhaust port of each one of these units, and it extracts the heat out of it, generates electricity, and generates hot water that we can use for heating the building, heating the domestic water, heating the makeup air, and at the same time it's all generating electricity. So what it's doing is it's generating electricity and it goes down into the basement into a battery bank, and it's also generating and creating the hot water and going down into the basement into a storage tank. Now that I've explained to you how the electricity is generated and the heat is extracted, let's go down the basement and I'll show you how the magic happens. Okay, now that we're down in the basement, I'll show you a number of the applications, and I'll start with the electrical generation. Over here we've got a battery bank, and what I told you upstairs is that the system generates electricity, so it'll run it out a couple of cables out the back and down through the floor and into those batteries. So you can keep it as DC electricity, and you can run low voltage lighting, or you can run it through an inverter and run it as AC and run it back into your grid. Now over here we have the storage tanks. So upstairs I told you that the system extracts the heat and turns it into hot water. So that hot water is going to run out the back of the system, run through the floor, through pipes, and into these two storage tanks. From there we're going to call it energy. With that energy you can heat the building, you can air condition the building, you can heat your domestic water, and you can heat the makeup air for your exhaust fan. So let's take a look at this gas burning furnace over here. What the Green Heat system does is takes the hot water from the storage tank, pumps it into a heat exchanger that slides into the plenum. It turns your existing furnace into the backup system, and then Green Heat is the primary heat source, and you no longer burn gas. And next to the furnace, we have a domestic water heater. So we're taking the same water from the storage tanks, and we're preheating the water that goes into the domestic water heater. So in the summertime, we can actually take the same energy from the storage tanks and generate air conditioning. To summarize, the 4 major applications for the Green Heat technology are: heat the building, you can air condition the building, you can heat your domestic water, and you can heat the makeup air for your exhaust fan.